Good morning, Sophia. Well, not the talking type it looks like, but I'll mark you present anyway. So good morning again, Sophia. We'll just wait for everyone else here. We'll get started about 9:02. Oh, Emmanuel, a minute early. All right. That is amazing. Let me sit in my YouTube real quick. Let me see with the thing and the thing and the thing and the thing. That's what I wanted. Yep, that's what I wanted, and that's what I wanted too. And it's only 4 minutes. It's kind of short. Oh, there's Josue Angelica. Perfect. It's Emmanuel, Josue, and Angelica Garcia. Okay. Up. Jesse, Marco, and Alan. Ulysses and Anna Kaz. All right. Ulysses, Anna Kaz. Where is she? Where is she? Right there. Jesse. Who else? Oh, Marco. That's right. Marco. And there was another Alan too. That's right. Alan. There's Joshua. There's Anna Luna and Allison. Perfect. So Joshua Gonzalez. Allison. Okay. Let's see. I saw another one here. I already got Ulysses. Anna Luna, that's right. Anna Luna, you're good. Okay, again, we'll get started about 9:02, so less than 1 minute. About 45 seconds. We hope that you guys had a great weekend. It's our last lesson of the chapter, by the way. Again, our last lesson of the chapter. Oh, there, Akita Camacho, perfect. John Camacho, perfect. Cool, all right. Now with the last lesson of the chapter, that means you have a quiz and test coming up. You have a class quiz next Monday, and I'll talk about that on Wednesday. Class quiz on Monday, and you have a test on Thursday, and that'll be due on Sunday at midnight. So I'm gonna give you guys a couple days to finish the test, okay? As well as the class quiz, I'm gonna give you guys 2 days to finish the class quiz, okay? It is now 9:02. Oh, I saw a chat. I'm here, and Mr. I'm here. Yes, I see you both, so you guys are present. Thank you guys for letting me know. Eddie is here, so we're good. Eddie Jimenez, perfect. I did update your extra credit, by the way, so I added 2 points extra credit to those that were here on Monday and Wednesday last week. And yes, Emmanuel, I see that you're here as well, so thank you for letting me know. Okay, let's get to it. Let's share the screen, and let's get to our morning. Oh, I keep that bird. There's Burnaby. All right, let's get to it now with our morning announcements, and here we go. Good morning, students. It is Monday, May the 11th, 2020, and here we go. Our morning announcements to start off yet another wonderful week with only 4 academic weeks left to go until the end of our school year. Seniors, you only have 3 more weeks, as a matter of fact. But here we go with our morning announcements. First of all, Mr. Lamar has his scheduling happening this coming Friday. Scheduling for next school year for juniors, sophomores, and freshies are going to be this Friday, May the 15th. Freshmen are from 9 to 9:40, sophomores from 9:45 to 10:25, and then juniors from 10:30 to 11:15. All students at each grade level must attend and complete their scheduling forms at the meeting. Any questions, please talk to Mr. Lamar at alamar@valueschools.com. Also for Mr. Chi and Mr. Lamar, remember that when you schedule on Friday, you'll need the course descriptions PDF that Mr. Chi has assembled for you guys with the help of the teachers. Please make sure that you take the time to review the options. Your advisors and teachers will distribute them in the Google Classroom links. Also, from Koga and Ms. Bryant for grades 11 and 12. Well, actually, we'll change it instead from 11 to 12. Let's say 10 and 11 because it is for the new sophomores turn to juniors. And then let me change this here. And then the juniors turn seniors in a couple weeks. Ms. Bryant and Ms. Kogo are having their AP Lit and AP APELC entrance exam on 522, which is next Friday at 11 a.m. If you sign up during the AP fair, please be ready to join us on Zoom. Please be on time. The Zoom link will be provided later this week. Any questions, please talk to Koga at ykoga@valueschools.com or Ms. Bryant at jbryant@valueschools.com. Very important, if you guys did sign up on Friday for AP Lit or AP Health for next school year, keep that in mind, as there's going to be an entrance exam next Friday. Our TikTok video of the day. Let's get our Monday started with a little humor. And, well, if you've used a forklift, they're pretty difficult. And apparently during Father-Son Day at work, I believe the father might have some regrets. Check it out.
All right, Tyler, first time driving a forklift. I want you to pick up this container right over here and put it over there. Got it? One less and he's ready to go. Be careful of the customer's truck over here, okay?
Okay, so let's stop the video right here and let's all predict what could possibly happen. All right, he's got a forklift. The kid's got a forklift and he's never used it before. It's his first time using it. So I want you guys to sit and think about what the father just said of what's around him, and let's all think about what could be the end result. I'll give you a few seconds. Okay.
A little to your right. To your right. No, Tyler, to your right. Brakes. Tyler.
Every time I watch this video, it's the greatest thing ever. Oh, that business is not going to end very well. Oh, boy. Happy Monday, guys. And as always, go Jags. Poor kid and poor dad indeed. Very sad times. I bet you there's many, many regrets. So as I mentioned, or first of all, before I move forward, any questions about anything? As I mentioned, that today is the last section of this chapter. You have a class quiz next Monday that's worth 40 points, and I'm giving you guys 2 days to do it beginning next week. You have a test next Thursday, but you have 4 to 5 days to do it, okay? Just keep that in mind with everything that's going on, okay? Because you have a final that's coming up after that. There's still 440 points left going in the grade book around there, okay? So there's still a lot more points coming at you, which means the chance of passing this class is still possible. If you guys are like, I don't want to do it, I don't want to turn stuff in, it doesn't matter to me, have fun taking this class next year. With me, most likely. It'll be the same ordeal. Any questions on that? It's a very quick, very simple lesson today. In fact, it is mainly Desmos heavy. Okay, just a heads up. All right, as we move forward, let me drag this over here because we're going to need the whiteboard. This beginning part of the lesson is difficult, but the rest of it is very simple because I'm allowing you guys to use Desmos to find your answers. An architect is designing an archway for a building that has a 9-foot ceiling. So we know that the building is 9 feet high. She is working with constraints shown at the right. So we know that she has constraints right here at 7 feet. And I'm going to call that the y-intercept essentially, 0,7. We can also say that across is 5 feet, but then as high is 9 feet. So from here to here, it's 9 feet high. So let's think about what this point would be. Essentially, that point that I just labeled right here is known as the what? If you were to draw a parabola out of that, no, I'm saying this point, not line, point. That point, if I were to draw a parabola, so let me draw a parabola.
Vertex.
Okay? Yes, it is known as the vertex. Okay, we should all be able to tell me the x and y value of the vertex. If we know that across is 5 feet and it's 9 feet high, remember that the x value is halfway from 5 feet. What would be the x value of the vertex?
2.5.
Very good, Sophia. It's 2.5. How about the y value of the vertex?
9.
Very good. How come Sophia is the only one? Well, actually, you're pretty quick. I want you guys to participate using chat. I've got the chat here on the side. If Sophia is the only one answering questions, I'm going to yell at you so that everyone in your house or apartment can hear you with how frustrated I am. Any questions? All right. So moving forward, I've got my y-intercept. I've got my vertex. So this essentially is my h and k. And this is my x and y. Okay. So what we're doing here, okay, my vertex was 2.5 and 9. Okay. And then my x and y, we identified the y-intercept, it was 0, 7. We need this equation to find out what the, well, we need this in order to identify what the equation is. So I want you guys to take a look. Burnaby, yes, yes, yes. So let's take a look at everything, okay? This is my h and k. And this is my x and y. I've got all of this that I have, right, to make my equation. Remember, x and y are variables. I've got what, so I'm not gonna actually say the letters or the parameters or whatever. What am I missing in order to complete the equation? Notice I got 4 of these letters here. Good. And in order for me to find a, what am I gonna do with these 4 values? I'm going to
Make equation.
not yet. I wanna find a. What am I going to do with all 4 of these values with this? I'm going to what?
Put them in order.
No. Why am I going to put them in order? Why would I put those points in order? That makes no sense. 3 words. That's 1 word, Samantha. And how can I graph it? Actually, I could. Actually, I can't. How can I graph it when I'm missing a value? Well, technically it's the right idea. But in order for me to do that, thank you, Joshua, plug them in. Plug it in. Joshua, that made me very happy. Thank you, Joshua Gonzalez. So let's talk about what it looks like when I replace the values. What is y?
7.
Thank you, Sophia. 7 equals a. What is x?
X.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Ulysses. Thank you, Samantha. And Anna Cos. No, how is it 1? Anna Cos. There's no 1 anywhere in this. There's a 0. 0. Minus what is h? Thank you, 2.5. And that's squared minus what is k?
9.
Good job, Sophia. Good job, Samantha. Good job, Ulysses. Okay, so now I've got 7. Okay, so this is 0 minus 2.5, which is negative 2.5. But when I square it, 2.5 times 2.5, what would that be? You have a phone, I mean, you can always check it. 2.5 times 2.5.
6.25.
Thank you, Sophia, for taking the initiative. 6.25. And then minus 9. So now my goal is to get a by itself. How do I get a by itself?
You subtract it.
No, not subtract. My goal is to get a by itself. What moves from right to left? Not divide. What moves
Add.
from, yes, and what am I adding to both sides?
9.
Good. So I get 16 equals 6.25a. And my last step to get a by itself is then I can what?
Divide.
Now I can divide. So that means my a value is 16 over 6.25 is equal to a. And there you go. Okay, so we found our value of A. So now we have our equation. Y is equal to 16 over 6.25 multiplied by x minus 2.5 squared minus 9. And there we go. Any questions?
No.
Oakley dokley. Okay, so that was the hard part, making the equation. So we found our equation. It's a quadratic model. I'm going to skip part B. Let's focus with this, okay? But as we talk about linear and quadratic systems, first of all, when you see the word system, in other words, when we hear system of equations, what do we think of? I'll give you a hint, blank or blank. Notice what we have here, right? How about this? How many equations do we have that you see here? 2, right? So when we think about systems of equations, we think about 2 or more equations. Now, when we see linear quadratic, we have 2 different types of equations. What's one type of equation that we're working with? What is one different type of equation that we're working with in a linear quadratic system? I'll give you a hint. It's right in front of you. Yes, the mx plus b, which is known as a linear equation. And we also have a what equation?
AX squared plus BX
Yes.
plus C.
That is it. And what is that equation called? Pythagorean, it's not, well, I see why, because there's A, B, and C. Quadratic, thank you, and a cause, right? You all should know that this is linear. And as we're learning, this is quadratic. Okay, that should be quadratic. That is a terrible way of writing quadratic. Let me rewrite that actually. And there we go. Quadratic. If you guys are telling me right here that this is the first time that you've ever seen this before, actually raise your hand if you guys have, actually let me know if you've never seen this before. Can anyone in the chat let me know that they've never seen y equals mx plus b before? Can anyone let me know? Can anyone let me know? Okay, good, because you have seen this before. Because if you said that you've never seen this before, I would reach to the camera and then shake you senseless because you've never paid attention to my class since the beginning of the school year. So I'm glad that no one did this. All right, moving on. So when we talk about linear and quadratic equations, all right, we talk about 2 things, right? We have a linear and quadratic. Now, here's the thing. If we're looking for solutions to linear and quadratic equations, we're looking for when those 2 equations what?
Vertex?
No. Whenever we have 2 equations, right? And if we were to, let's say if we were to graph the equations, right? If we're looking for the solutions, we are looking for when they what?
Y and X?
No. Thank you. Intersect, right? So intersect. Here's the word. I see what you guys are saying. It's intersect. Okay? But what's another word for intersect? What's another word for, yes, cross. So I'm just fixing what you guys are saying. We're looking for when they cross. So if you look at this line right here, right? Notice how this equation has, these 2 have 1 solution because they touch but never cross. The one in orange has 2 because it crosses there and there. The one with the orange and the purple never cross, so there's no solutions, right? So when we talk about real solutions, we're talking about when they cross. It can cross either 0 times, 1 time, or 2 times. Now, I could have you guys do it by hand, which is a pain in the tuchus. However, and this is why I'm making it super simple, okay? How can we find our solutions if we're given 2 or more equations, right? I can't really penalize you guys if you guys do this. What tool can we use to find out where they intersect? Yes, Samantha. Good old
Desmos.
Thank you, Sophia, too. So let's use Desmos. Just graph them. Y equals x. Boom. Y equals x squared. Boom. Look, we have two intersections. What's our 2 points? The first one's 0, 0. The second one's 1, 1. That's it. Just graph them both. You have your answers. So graph them. Okay, and we find our intersections 0, 0, and then 1, 1. We can also do them by hand. And the reason why we can do them by hand is because these two equations are both equal to what? Did you really just say CY math? Did you really just say CY math? No, we're not using that. They're both equal to Y. Very good job, Samantha. So if they're both equal to Y, we can set them both what? If they're both equal to Y, we can set them both what? No, what? No, not 1. We can set them both what? No, not X. It's a word. If they're both equal to Y, we can set them both what? They're both equal to the same variable. So if they're both equal to the same variable, I have two equations. I can set them both what? If I put a letter, it's going to give it away.
Equation.
It does begin with an E. That does not begin with the letter E, Axel. I set them both what? Thank you, Allison. Equal. See, you did know it. So we can say x equals x squared, and I can set this equal to 0. So 0 equals x squared minus x, and notice how these both contain an x. So I can actually take out an x. So I have x times x minus 1, and notice this. I've got two factors. So I know one of my x's are equal to 0, and then I can say also x minus 1 equals 0, and notice that x equals 0 and x equals 1. Then after that, since I'm going to use this equation right here to find out what my y's are. Well, if x equals 0, that means y equals 0. And then when x equals 1, y equals 1. Voila. That's how you got these. But again, I'm allowing you guys to use Desmos to find your answers. If you guys use Symbolab, or if you guys use Photomath, and I see notations that use Symbolab or Photomath, you will get 0 points. Because I want you guys to use the tools that are beneficial. Symbolab and Photomath do not, okay? So, so again, like I mentioned, how can you use graphs to find the solutions? Well, these are both equal to y, okay? And if I'm using graphs, I'm just gonna graph both of them. So notice how we graph both of these, bing, bang, boom. We find our intersecting points and we have our answers. And then to check them, we just plug them in. So let's try it real quick, part A. Again, what tool am I gonna use to find our solutions? I'm gonna use what?
Desmos.
Yes, Desmos. And Samantha, it depends on how it's graphed. It could be 2 solutions, it could be 1 solution, or it could be no solutions. But the most amount of solutions are gonna be 2 solutions. The least will be 0. So here we go. Y equals x squared. That's 1. And then the other one, y equals x plus 3. Voila. I go up. And look, right there and right there. So it's negative 1, 2, and 2, 5. Okay? So negative 1, 2, and then 2, 5. Okay? And then the other one, same exact thing, okay? So 5 minus, y equals actually, y equals 5 minus 0.5 squared, or 0.5x squared is what I meant to say. Why am I not putting an x there? There we go. Okay, and then the next one, negative 0.5x plus 2. Okay, plus 2. Okay, so there's that right there. And right there. Any questions? me zoom out a little bit to show you guys both solutions. So that's too much of a zoom out. There we go. Right there and right there. Any questions? So it's at -2.3 and 3.5. Okay, so -2.3 and 3 and 0.5. Any questions? Again. Okay, if no one's saying no questions, we're moving on. So we're gonna skip this, okay? Since I'm gonna skip this type of example, and the reason why I'm gonna skip this type of example is it's not that it's too hard, it's just I want you guys to focus more on just using Desmos, right? Because those tools allow you guys to find out where they intersect. So that's my bigger thing, okay? So all we're gonna say, we're gonna cross off use elimination, just use Desmos. Okay, so we're using Desmos to find out where they intersect. So basically just graph it. Just graph the equations, okay? Just graph them both. We're actually almost done. We have one more example, okay? Word problem. Oh, no, but it's not that bad because they give you both equations, but we have to understand what the question's asking. So a phone company launches the sale of 2 phones in the same week. The phone on the right is an upgraded version of the other phone. During what week are the sales projected to be the same for both phones? And then what will the weekly sales of each phone be for that week? So we have 2 equations, right? The projected sales for this phone is this function. The projected sales for this phone is this function. When we want to find out when they're equal is when they intersect. And if we want to find out where they intersect, what tool are we going to use to find out when they intersect?
Desmos.
Good old Desmos, right? Thank you, Axel, also. So let's graph both of these. Well, actually, we won't. But if we were to graph both of these, I know that they're going to intersect when x is 20, and then it's going to be 400. The revenue is 400,000 because it was in the thousands. So 20 would be your x, 400,000 would be your y. So let's look at this. Could you have used elimination or graphing to solve this in your equation? Well, you could have. So let's use graph. Well, could have used both, but graphing would be more feasible. So if I were to graph both of these, okay, let's do this real quick. So y equals 20x, okay? And then the other one, that's the wrong one, -2x squared plus 60x, okay? So y equals -2x squared plus 60x. So it looks funky, but there you go. So here's one thing that we notice. We know that it's crossing right here at 0, 0, right? But that's not going to be the solution because if I don't make anything, I don't sell anything, right? So we have to keep going and find out where they intersect, right? So we keep going, keep going, keep going, or I can zoom out and then from there find where they intersect. And notice how they intersect right there. 2400 is the other one, okay? So we can use Desmos in order for us to find our answers by graphing these. And in fact, in this lesson here, it is mainly graphing. Graph, okay? And then Desmos. I cannot stress enough that Desmos is going to save your tuchus. Okay, it's going to save your butt. Are there any questions on anything?
No.
Because believe it or not, guys, we are done for the day. Okay, we are officially done for the day. So real quick, remember, beginning on Wednesday, I'm gonna have office hours at 5 until 5 o'clock, beginning on Wednesday. Okay, just a heads up there. Okay. Again, if you've missed 3 office hours after scheduling them, you are banned from office hours unless you ask me the day of if you want office hours that day. But it depends on availability. If there's nothing that day, then you cannot have office hours. Okay, I will let you guys know of the availability. If you guys missed office hours 3 in a row or 3 days or whatever, an hour before. Okay, so around 1 o'clock or so when we begin. If you miss that, you are banned from office hours forever. Okay, so obviously you cannot miss any more office hours if you schedule it. Okay, if you miss 3 in a row or if you miss 3 total. Okay, are there any questions? I did not see that, but I will check ASAP.
Yes,
I'm going to be checking homework late homework at the end of the chapter, so that'll get updated. Okay, so I'm not going to forget that. I heard a mister. Yes. I heard a mister.
Can I have
Yeah.
office hours on Thursday and
Thursday
Tuesday?
at what time?
Oh, sorry, yeah, office hours on Tuesday already.
You do at 2:30. Yes.
And can I have it on Thursday?
What time?
With Eddie? At
What
3?
time? 3 o'clock. I'll put you down for Thursday at 3 p.m. with you and Eddie. Perfect. If you photomath this, I swear to the Lord, baby Jesus. I swear to the Lord, baby Jesus, Burnaby. Okay, you heard me. You heard it here first. Okay, any other pressing questions? Okay, we are officially done for the day. Okay, again, please let me know if you guys want office hours. Why are we PBS kids in this? This makes no sense. Okay, I will see you guys all on Wednesday. We're reviewing for your class quiz, okay, on a Wednesday, and your class quiz will be on Monday coming up, okay? So I'll see you guys on Wednesday. All right, have a great day, guys. Take care.